So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of Symbolic Saturday. We've got Napoli against Roma this weekend. So today's debate is going to be on that game. It's going to be heated, it's going to be juicy. So smash that subscribe button, smash the like button, and let's get into it. True or false? Was last season's Tammy Abraham a better striker than this season Victor Osimhen? Very simple. In my opinion, it's a true bold statement because this season Osimhen is carrying Napoli, but so was Tammy Abraham carrying Roma last season. And last season, he scored 17 goals, and last season Osimhen scored 14 goals. But I know, it's a statement which involves Osimhen this season. And Osimhen this season was a completely different striker. He scores more goals, he's way less injured, and it's a tough debate, but I just think the fact that we won the Conference League, he dragged us in the league, we got Europa League because of Tammy last season. And something which I think people get wrong is that now that Napoli is unstoppable, now that Napoli are first in the league, everyone idolizes Victor Osimhen. He's a great striker, I've got nothing against him, but Napoli and the way Napoli play is more than just Osimhen. And I think people have got this fixed vision of Osimhen bagging the goals. I think Tammy last season was more clinical than Osimhen this season. Again, I'm going to be biased because I'm a Roma fan, but Tammy last season was a completely different striker to this season. And another thing which make people say, oh yeah, it's Osimhen 100%, is because we're used to seeing Tammy at the start of this season on a very bad form. And Osimhen, compared to him at the start of this season, was on top form. So last season's Tammy was more clinical, and I think he was an overall better striker than Osimhen this season. We should see at the end of the season. I think it's very early to talk about this. But I think Tammy was a better striker than Osimhen last season. True or false, Roma's front line is better than Napoli's? It doesn't take a genius to answer this. It's a massive false statement. I think we have trouble in scoring, and obviously when you've got trouble in scoring, you have to blame the attackers. We have had a very slow start to the season this season. Not many goals are coming. Napoli score an average of 3 goals every match. And I think their front line has been better than our front line. I think Osimhen, Kvaratskhelia have paired up so well, and have just linked up so well since the very first game week of this season. And when you've got players which link together so well, then they immediately start on a good track, and it's very hard to stop them. Dybala and Abraham are starting to show that link up, but we've just seen that link up start. It took almost 4 months for that link up to appear. So it's fair to say Napoli have got a better front line than Roma. Maybe it's important to say that not all the Napoli attackers which form the front line are better than the Roma players which form the front line. Because, for example, I think right now Osimhen is better than Tammy Abraham. But I know it's two completely different positions, but I think Dybala, as things stand at the time of recording, is on a better form than Kvaratskhelia. Politano is good, definitely better than Zaniolo this season, because Zaniolo barely gave any impact, but Zaniolo on his day can be a very good talent. So it's a tough fight, but obviously the statistics show it. Napoli have scored more goals. Napoli are in a way clearer position than us in the league. So I have to go with them having a better front line than us. But if the goals start coming, and if Roma get back on track when it comes to scoring more goals, and to the levels of actually scoring 4 to 5 goals each game, which I know is a dream, but it could happen, then we should reopen this debate, because it's not a closed debate. It could change, but as things stand, Napoli are better. Right, let's move on. True or false, Osimhen should stay at Napoli next season? I'm going to speak as a Napoli fan here, and I'm going to say true. I'm going to say true because big clubs are interested in him. United are interested in him. Who else? Chelsea, some of these teams are interested in him. But at the end of the day, I think you have to see the impact which Osimhen gave to the league. One of the reasons why Napoli are going to win the league this season is because of Osimhen. And does Osimhen really want to leave a team which is going to win the league this season? Does he really want to leave an environment of winning the league this season? Does he really want to leave Napoli fans stranded after they win the league this season? I mean, yeah, Napoli haven't won the league. Things could change, but can they change? They've just been too good. No one stops them. The only thing which can stop them this season are Arsenal. And the second Napoli win the league and maybe have a good run in their Champions League campaign, do we really classify Osimhen leaving Napoli kind of a move which will bring him to a better team? I don't think so. I don't think we should say if Osimhen leaves Napoli that he's going to leave for a better and more challenging adventure. Because name me a better team than Napoli this season. You can only name Arsenal. If he goes to United, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a step up in his career. I think he has to stay fixed where he is because he's loved. He knows he can give a massive impact to the league. And if he stays next season and Napoli build on the team they already have, they can be competitors next season too. So the real good debate is that big clubs are going to be interested. A move to the Premier League is going to massively challenge him. Look at all these strikers which are moving to the Premier League. Gakpo, he's done extremely well in the Eredivisie. The second he moved to the Liverpool, I know you need time, but he hasn't really given massive impacts. So I'm afraid Osimhen has to stick with Napoli. Osimhen doesn't have to give up because moving to a more challenging league does not necessarily mean succeeding in a better way. It could easily mean failing in a better way. So I think he should stay. And this is why I think Osimhen is going to stay Napoli next season. Big offers are going to come, but Napoli's going to, they just have to show their position. Right, moving on. True or false, Chris Smalling is a better defender than Kim Min-jae? No, I don't want to hear anything else other than a massive, bold, true statement. Because it's very easy to discredit Smalling performances. It's so easy. I think us Roma fans have to understand that if it wasn't for Dybala and Smalling, we would not be one point from second position. We just wouldn't. And Napoli have got a worse defence than us. The statistics show this and the numbers prove it. Napoli have conceded more goals than us, which is already a reason why Chris Smalling is a better defender than Kim Min-jae. I think Smalling's got more leadership than Kim Min-jae. He's got more experience by having played in the Premier League. I think there is no aspect of Kim Min-jae which is better than Chris Smalling. No aspect whatsoever. This cannot be anything else other than a true answer. Smalling is the best defender in the league. Smalling is the most underrated defender in the league. He is, 33 years old, and he's fast on the ball, he tackles, and his sense of position is something which Kim Min-jae can dream about. So, no, this is a massively true statement, and it cannot be truer. And that's another reason why Roma have to renew his contract. Because we want to build a defence on him. We want to build the defence around Chris Smalling. We don't want, we built Chris Smalling, we've made Chris Smalling like this, and then after 2 seasons he leaves. We have to build the next few years around Chris Smalling in our defensive section. And Kim Min-jae, great defender, great physique, but Smalling's better. Far better. I mean, not far better, but Smalling is a better defender. And I'm sure Napoli fans will agree on this too. True or false, Napoli will win a trophy this season? Well, it's more of a question of can they bottle it this season? This is, again, it's a true statement because the question is, can Napoli not win a trophy this season? Can they not win the Serie A is the big question. Look, it can happen, but I think they're going to win the league. They're going to win the league. They've got thrown out of the Coppa Italia. Can they even potentially have a chance in winning the Champions League? They're going to play Eintracht Frankfurt in the next round. That is going to be a win-win. They're going to get to the next rounds. They're going to put pressure on big sides. And to be fair, apart from Arsenal, who weren't even in the Champions League, namely a better team than Napoli this season. So they could go the whole way. The only reason why I don't think they'll win the Champions League is because of experience, obviously. But they're going to win the league. They're going to win the league. They can't not win the league. And frankly speaking, if they don't win the league now, they will never win the league. They cannot bottle it. They can't. They've got a 10-point gap between the second. You just can't close that down. So, again, is there even a chance of them crumbling and bottling results? I don't think so. And that they've continued with their momentum so much. They have shown how much they want it, how much the entire city wants that league. And I do think they will win a trophy this season. I think it's all on their backs. The ball is in their hands. They've got no pressure whatsoever from other teams, especially now that Juventus got penalised. Milan is crumbling down. Juventus got penalised. The only team which could potentially enter a title race is Inter. Can they do it? No, they can't, because Napoli have been so consistent, something which Inter Milan haven't done. They've built that gap between the first and the second team. They're going to keep on narrowing that gap, and they're going to win the league. So they're going to win a trophy this season, and there is no part of me which believes they can't. Last, true or false? Roma will finish in the top 4 this season. I hate to answer this. But the situation has changed. The Juventus penalisation has basically eliminated Juventus from the top 4 race. And the question is, Napoli's gone and Inter Milan is gone at this stage. So we've got 2 teams which, in my opinion, have booked their ticket. We've got 2 more spaces. Now, you'd say Milan is there, but Milan is crumbling down. So we have to see if Milan can kind of refigure things out, if they can get to the right path back again. Otherwise, it's between us, Atalanta and Lazio. To be fair, it's still going to be a tough race because Atalanta scores so many goals. Their defense is shambolic, but they score a lot of goals. Lazio, out of the 3, is the one which gives me less hope, not because I'm a Roma fan, but because they're never consistent. They lose far too many points, and the fact you see the first 2 game weeks of 2023, they lost against Lecce, they drew at home against Empoli. That's already 4 points, which could have been vital for a top 4 race. And I think Lazio can be there. Lazio is going to try to be there. And I think Roma this season have been solid to get points against teams where they have to get points. We've barely ever lost against small sides. We've barely ever not gotten full points against small sides. And I think this top 4 race will really be narrowed down to the Lazio Roma game and the Atalanta Roma game. Bad thing is, both of these 2 big top 4 clashes are away from Rome. I love to be both positive, but at the same time, I don't want to exceed expectations. I want to keep a good path. I just have faith in this team. We should go step by step. As things stand, however, I just think the team is back going. Again, I'm going to go true. I think Roma will make top 4. Because of the Juventus penalisation. Without the Juventus penalisation, we would have never made top 4. But now that, the scenario is different. And since 2023 started, Roma looks like a completely different team. Mourinho really united a lot back again, and I think it's gonna be narrowed down to the big top 4 clashes against Lazio and Atalanta. But every point counts, and I think Lazio loses far too many points, and Atalanta is the real danger. They score a lot, but they concede a lot, and I think the big fight is gonna be against Atalanta whenever we play them away from home, which is gonna be brutal. But yeah, I think this poses an end to my debate. A few true or false questions to prepare us the best way possible for Sunday's big clash. Napoli to build that gap even further, and Roma to get into the top 4 even further and try to start building a distance between Atalanta and Lazio following the Juventus penalisation. Feel free to play along in the chat down below in the comments. I'll be very curious to read and respond to all of your comments. And yeah, looking forward to more Saturday, Symbolic Saturday episodes, challenges, debates. Maybe I'm going to get some friends to debate which support other teams. It's going to be great. So smash that like button if you enjoyed the first episode of Symbolic Saturday. Smash that like button if you would want to see an evolution of Symbolic Saturday. And subscribe to the channel. And I will catch you very, very soon. Simon out.